consequences for bullying are here at our school?
Depending on severity, it can be detention, suspension, sitting down with parents and just talking it out, or it could even mean being expelled if it becomes severe enough.
Do you know if other schools have similar policies?
We didn't really look into other schools, just our school policies.
Focus on LCS.
And you may have already, and I don't, I'll stop. You may have already answered this. How many of the school shooters have been students who claim to have been bullied? Or what percentage?
I mean, we don't have a certain percentage.
Okay, I know you mentioned several examples.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you
we
had.
listed several examples. We don't have a certain percentage, but
Okay.
It kind of, I think it's becoming more prevalent that the students who are being school shooters are the ones being bullied
Okay.
and are the ones who are felt left out or lonely. So, but we don't have a certain statistic.
Okay.
Do you guys feel that the existing LCA policy as it relates to bullying, is it adequate? Should be beefed up, or should we scale it back a little bit?
I think it's adequate because here at LCA, we obviously don't have much bullying. And when we do, it clearly gets solved pretty quickly. And so with that, I think it's pretty adequate.
Fellas, I'm interested, you've spent about 2 weeks researching this topic. Has research this topic caused you to kind of rethink, reflect on how you talk to people, even each other as friends? You've mentioned that. Has it caused you to reflect on that at all?
I think it has, because saying when I say something to Will and someone else, you really don't know what other people are going through, either if it's in school or out of school. So you really don't know, like, if what you say can hurt them or not. So just really watching what you say to other people.
Yeah, I think it makes you feel more self-conscious about, if you're in a, someone you're not as close with, you don't talk regularly, but you don't really feel comfortable saying the same thing you would, or I would to Baylor, then I don't think you should really say it to them, because I think it could hurt them, and you don't know what they're going through.
I'm kind of with Will on that. Like, now, kind of researching this and what others might take as bullying by being offensive to them. Like, I want to be more careful about what I say when I'm talking to someone I'm not as good friends with or don't know on a personal level.
Is there a connection between being bullied and teen suicide?
Well, as we said, bullying can lead to anxiety and depression. And so anxiety and depression can definitely lead to suicide. So yes, I believe it does relate to it.
Okay, so here's an opinion question. Do you think that as we talk about these issues more, and considering the fact that bullying has gone on forever, I mean, I got told I was walker size when I was in school. I mean, so, do you think we're becoming more sensitive? Do you think because of this that we are becoming people who are, don't have thick skins and can't take criticism, and we take offense at the slightest things, and that we have to be surrounded by people who are going to speak nicely to us all the time?
Yes, ma'am. I think we for sure are becoming more sensitive. And I think that's why it's leading to more things like these school shootings and stuff like that, because people nowadays just can't handle or can't take the same thing people could take back in the day.
Yeah, I think you really become sensitive through social media because other people are seeing that too, and so your reputation is being brought down, and however many followers you have, whether that be thousands or hundreds, but there's still tons of people saying like, oh, he's not cool, I'll just push him.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the main things you see nowadays.
And it kind of also has to do like with environment. When you say thick skin, I'd say for the most part, people are living easier lives from now and back then. Back then, you had to work earlier. You're doing more physical labor, and that could have a part to do with the mental side of, you say, thick skin.
So I'm going to ask another question then. So currently, the laws for social media do not supposed to have it unless you're 13 or older. Should that age be raised? Assuming people are going to follow the rules and not get hacked when they're 8 or 9 or so. But I mean, is 13 too young? Do we need to wait till we get out of those middle school years?
I think it is, because what we talked about earlier when we said now we're 18 and 17, we've gotten more mature, we've seen more things. So with that being said, a 13-year-old hasn't seen what we've seen. So I think, yeah, it should be definitely raised.
Yeah, I agree with that because it relates to the maturity level.
And, I mean, I totally agree, us 13-year-olds aren't mature enough.
What do you think, 13, what grade are you in?
6 or 7.
Which is kind of right when we tend to see that more often. So, and again, I don't have any of it, so, you know,
Yeah.
there's a reason to feel away from it. But I didn't know if that might be a potential area to look at maybe improving the problem, if social media is something that seems to be contributing.
And it's growing too. Feels like it's getting worse and worse.
Guys, you mentioned Nicholas Cruz a little earlier, the shooting that happened in Florida, and you mentioned that he had been bullied and that teachers had even said afterwards, you know, someone should have done something. Where does the liability lie there? Not only for the kids who lost their lives, but this young man who fell through the cracks and clearly needed some assistance before he got to the point that he got. Whose responsibility is that? And it might not just be one person.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. It could be the teachers that have seen it and never said anything about it, or even the students. And I think not blaming it on the parents. Well, he had a bad home life in the first place. But I think students who are getting bullied, they really need to let their parents know how they're feeling. 'Cause it's obviously, if he let his grandma know.
His
that-
aunt.
His aunt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that he was feeling this way, she could have helped in some way. So I think, liability-wise, I think it's anyone who ever saw him get bullied and never did anything about it.
So if the grandmother or the aunt who found out went to the school and said, "Hey, my nephew's being bullied here," then what happens?
And then I think the school should take action, as in like bringing him in there, talking to him, him telling him like who's bullying him, so they bring that kid in and talk and just try to solve it out to students that have bullied him and him personally.
You talked about teachers that knew about it, that it's part of everybody. Everybody has to like step up to help the situation. I mean, I'm not making an excuse by any means, but
No.
like teachers need to step up if they hear that it's part of their job.